a monster got to you, babe. I don't know why I consider you there. I'm trying to be more, but every day
Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Crystal Rodriguez and I'm obsessed with thrifting. In today's video, I really want to share 6 strategies for online thrifting that's going to save you thousands. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I suggest you take a look at the video I created on avoiding thrift addiction. In that video, I make a note of making sure that you know what you need. So if you really want to save money by thrifting online, knowing what you need is going to be critical. So the first strategy that I want to share with you is to shop with an outcome in mind. Shopping with an outcome in mind means shopping with purpose. So what I like to do, as I referred in my previous video, is to start with a Pinterest board. If you don't have a Pinterest board, you're really missing out. It's one of the key items that I use in my strategy. Once you have your Pinterest board, you have some ideas in mind in what you're looking for. And if that's your inspiration, knowing the looks that you have in mind will keep you focused. Here are 2 examples of looks that I was trying to recreate, which caused me to go online to thrift rather than go to my local consignment shop or Goodwill. In both of these looks, we have the mixture of a pattern with the color green, which for some reason in my Pinterest board really spoke to me. Every time I saw a combination of a pattern and the color green, I noticed that I would pin it in my Pinterest board. When I pin something to my Pinterest board, it means that there's something about it that I really enjoy. And then it serves as inspiration for shopping. The 2 prints that I had in my wardrobe were stripes and leopard. I was looking in my wardrobe and found that I didn't have anything green, especially in pants. I mean, who buys green pants just to, walk around in? I don't. But I like the color combination with the print. And so I decided that I first want to test out if I liked the combination in real life. Sometimes things in Pinterest look fantastic, but then once you put them on you, not so much. So what I did was I took something out of my own closet that had leopard and paired it with green to see if I liked it. This is the combination that I was able to recreate from my own closet. So if you see, I have a green cable knit sweater and I have a leopard print blazer. After I was sure that I liked the combination, I put the item on and then realized that it looked really good. So then I decided that it was worth exploring the other combinations between print and color. One thing to note is that the colors that I have on my Pinterest board were not the exact green that I had here in my wardrobe. And to me, that was enough. One is a little bit more of a Kelly green and in a silky texture, and the other one was more of an olive green, which, if you really wanted to recreate this, it really doesn't matter that you shop the exact same green, which is going to work for you when you're shopping online. The more focused you are on the specific color, the harder it's going to be for you to find the item. For example, the green sweater that I have there, I didn't have a green sweater in my wardrobe and I felt like I can complete my wardrobe with a green sweater, but I was looking for a specific green and I was really having trouble doing that. So I had to open up my mind to different shades of green and then was able to find one that I felt worked best for me. Now, if you are looking for a specific color, this is where the online thrifting can come into play. My go-tos when it comes to online thrifting is eBay and Poshmark. Now, that's only because I haven't really shopped any of the other ones. So I haven't shopped Mercari, which is one that I hear a lot about. I also hear people talking about Depop. I have never used them. I have used ThredUp. ThredUp is a good backup, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So as a reminder, strategy number 1 is to shop with an outcome in mind. The second strategy that I want to share is to shop and search strategically. The 2 reasons that would cause me to shop on ThredUp are either there's a specific cut, in particular with denim. Denim is something that's very hard to find, especially if you're very particular with your cut and your style. So if you find that there's a certain cut and style of, for example, Levi's jeans, you wouldn't necessarily go to the thrift shop. You might do that, but you're probably not going to have good luck. So if you go online and you have a very specific want, I would suggest ThredUp. Look for it there, and you get very high quality items that way. So if you know the cut and the style and it's particular to you, or there is a specific brand that you are very loyal to. Like for example, for myself, it's Everlane. If I really love the quality of Everlane, if I want to thrift Everlane, I might look at ThredUp first. I might look a little bit in Poshmark. Any high brand names and things like that, I find that they might be a little bit more expensive on eBay if they have a brand loyalty to them, because eBay sellers typically know the kind of brands that we're looking for and the loyalty brands, and they might have a higher premium on that. So my strategy, if it's a specific cut and style and fit that I like, or if I'm loyal to a brand, I might go to ThredUp. But for today's video, we're really going to be talking about eBay and Poshmark. Those are the ones that I use most often. Maybe you haven't shopped on eBay for clothes in a really long time because it was where you used to shop for vintage video games and things like that. But I assure you, I was shocked because I had been shopping in eBay for many, many, many years. Rarely did I shop for clothes online through eBay because at that point I was thrifting more and didn't really trust the online game when it came to thrifting because I was really afraid of not being able to return the item. So I've kind of gotten over that because there's a lot of now returns that you can do on eBay for clothing that really isn't a problem anymore. And I would say that the thing that makes me want to shop eBay more specifically for clothes is that there's so many different ways to buy now on eBay. If you think back in the day, eBay was like auction. The auction would be for 20 days or 10 days. You would put in an auction bid, totally forget about it, or you have this bidding war with someone, down to the very last second. But today there's a premium on the attention span for most human beings. So a lot of the times lately, if you do choose auction, you'll find that you might win it. Now that you've taken the first step of searching strategically for your item, that's narrowing down the vehicles that you want to use for thrifting online, in my case, eBay and Poshmark, you're going to want to be very strategic in your search terms. If you're trying to save money, you're going to want to avoid trendy terms. Terms such as 90s, vintage, Y2K. Searching for things like that will end up costing you more money. If someone is using those terms in the seller's listing, likely they already know the value of it. And not that we're trying to manipulate people here. That's not the point of what I'm trying to say. It is a strategy though. So if you are looking for these items and use it in your search terms, the items that pop up in your search are likely going to be at a higher price point. So avoid those kind of trendy terms and use other terms instead. For example, if you were searching for something that is vintage, instead of saying vintage or 70s style, you might say boot cut jeans or wide leg jeans or bell bottom jeans or things like that, rather than saying 90s, Y2K, or vintage. Another thing you can do to strengthen your search strategy is to use the right adjectives to describe your item. Back to the green pants. There are a lot of green pants out there, but there are pants that I know that fit me better than others. I don't like straight leg pants. They do not look flattering on me. So one of the things I went back to was, let me look at my Pinterest board and look at the different kinds of pants, even the ones that weren't green. What styles am I gravitating towards? What do I really enjoy? And right now, those are really kind of like palazzo, very wide leg pants that kind of just drape down, or the harem pants that kind of look like they are genie pants, right? Like those are the kind of pants that I like, that are a little bit fitted at the ankle, but loose in the mid area. So that is really the kind of style that I was looking for. So when I go into eBay, I will say, instead of saying green pants, right, which will cause me to have a long list and hundreds of items of green pants, I might put something like green palazzo pants, green wide leg pants, green harem pants, to see the kind of actual, green pants that I am looking for to add to my wardrobe. Not any green pants is going to do. This is so important because browsing equals broke. Say it with me. Browsing equals broke.
Aiden has $1 bill, 1 quarter, and 2 pennies. How much money does he have? Jaden broke.
When you have the items come up after your search, you're going to want to use filtering and sorting strategically as well. Here's some things that I can share with you about how I filter and sort that makes for a better experience. make sure you use the filter for sizing. If you're using the search green palazzo pants in medium, you're not only going to get medium pants. You are going to get large pants and small pants. So make sure even if you put that in your search, green palazzo pants in medium, you still have to filter and look for your size. There's no point in browsing items that don't fit. The other filter item that you're going to want to consider is item location. The reason why is not everything that's on eBay is in the US. eBay is a global company. So if you are going to use eBay, make sure that you filter US items only if you're interested in only shopping those items within the US. This will going to help lower your shipping costs. And also you're going to bypass a lot of those items that are created and manufactured in other countries that may not be of high quality. Another key tip is not to filter out the auction items. And again, I'll get into that in a little bit. You're going to want to be open with that because that's going to help strengthen your strategy later. For sorting, you're going to want to consider sorting from lowest price with shipping to highest price with shipping. Now, once you have this list and you've started with your minimum sort items and your minimum filters, you'll have a list of great items to choose from. Go ahead and now then like the items that you feel match best with what you're looking for. Before you start liking the items, make sure that you look at the pictures thoroughly for two things. Find out if the seller has listed the dimensions of the item so that you know that it fits. Not every clothing medium is going to fit you. That's happened to me many times where I buy something in a medium and I try it on, especially if it's used, because if it's been worn and then it's been washed, chances are, depending on the material, it may have shrunk and therefore may not fit you. So make sure that you check for dimensions. Have I purchased things in the past that have not had dimensions? Yes, and typically that's only if I know the brand. If I know the brand and the quality and I know that it's, even with washing, it doesn't shrink, I'm more likely to buy it without the dimensions. But make sure that you're double checking. The second thing you want to look for are any flaws. And the third thing that you're going to want to know is the quality of the item depends on the material. So if the seller, and they often do this, doesn't list that it's 100% cotton or wool or cashmere, you may want to send a quick note and ask them what it's made out of. For example, the bag that I showed in one of my last videos, which is one of my favorite thrift finds for 2023, was made out of genuine leather, but the seller did not include that in the description. So I send them a quick note asking, hey, is this made out of genuine leather and is there a tag in the bag? The seller also not only gave me the information, but added the new pictures to the listing for anybody else who would be interested. A couple of other things to consider is communication. That's actually part of the strategy. So if you see something, for example, you want to know the quality of the item as far as the material that it's made of, or you are seeing something on an article of clothing that may look like a flaw, but they didn't list it, so you kind of want to make sure. That happened to me with the Croc boots that I had purchased on eBay. It had a flaw on it, and I thought I saw an additional flaw, so I asked about it and confirmed that, in fact, it was just the glare that was showing on the heel of the boot. And the seller went ahead and took an additional picture just to make a reassurance to me that it was good. And what I like also about Poshmark that's a little different than eBay is that they have video photos, like videos that the seller can upload to show you. So when I was asking about the flaw on the heel of the boot, she went ahead and took a video and zoomed in specifically on the heel of the boot, and that satisfied, what I was looking for. So I was very happy with that. When you communicate with a seller, it's also a chance to let them know that you're really interested in their item. A few things that you're going to want to know about the seller themselves. Where are they located? This is going to make a difference with shipping. Sometimes if you're shopping for an item that's in Florida and I'm in Georgia, likely it'll be less costly to ship the item to me than somebody in California. So that's part of the strategy as well. We'll talk about negotiation in a little bit. That's one of the things that you want to consider for negotiation purposes. When the seller knows that you're interested in an item that they have, they might send you an offer immediately. I've had this happen to me many times where I am looking at a specific item and I ask a question about it, and within minutes I have an offer from the seller, which then you can negotiate with. The other thing that I found interesting about the communication and the ability to get offers right away is the number of items the seller has on the site. Someone on eBay who has 4,000 items to sell might be more incentivized to give you an offer if you're really interested in asking a question about the item. Whereas someone who only has 5 items, who's not really an avid seller, they might be more interested in recouping their initial investment and therefore really have no wanting to negotiate. Okay, so we strategically searched, we've sorted, we've communicated, we've looked at videos of the item, we've looked at photos of the item, we've looked for the quality, make sure the sizing is correct, and we think that this is an item that we might want to consider to purchase. Go ahead and like that item and then search on your other platform. So if you found a pair of pants that really fits the bill, it's really what you're looking for, note the brand and see if the same exact pair of pants is in Poshmark. So now you've done your initial research on eBay, you know the style, you know the brand, you really like this item. Where else can I find this item? You can use Google Lens to do that as well by taking a picture of the item that's on eBay after you've done all of your research, and then using Google Lens to see where you can buy that item elsewhere. This will let you know if they're also posted on other sites like Depop and Mercari and ThredUp, platforms that you may not have used yet. Strategy number 3, know your seller. One thing to know about Poshmark, when you start conversing with the seller and asking questions, they too get excited about wanting to make a sale. So likely you'll see an offer come through on Poshmark, and what I like about their offers is that they sometimes make a bundle offer. So they will lower the price for you. For example, if you are looking at something that's $25, they may lower it to $20 and then also give you a discount on shipping. Shipping on Poshmark is something like $7.95 or $7.99, I can't recall. It's practically $8 on average. Flat rate shipping, usually for like one item, like a top or a pair of pants. And they have the ability to discount shipping, and sometimes that will come in like at $3.99, so you're saving maybe around $4 also on shipping. So on Poshmark and eBay, it is very beneficial to know your seller and communicate. If you don't get any offers from anyone after you've liked a few items, don't worry, be patient. Sometimes people are not always looking at their eBay listings, so you may want to just give it some time. The eBay seller may come back later and start dropping prices, and you'll get notified as well when there's price changes on those items, or the seller might just send you an offer a few days later. Resist the urge to buy it now. Strategy number 4, don't be shy. It's okay to make an offer, and sellers are expecting you to do it. eBay has made it really convenient for buyers to make offers. I think they recognize that most of us are not comfortable negotiating. So when you do make an offer on eBay and that item is a popular item, it'll actually tell you that the average price for that item was between this and that, right? So if the item that you're looking for are the green pants and they're $25 and you want to make an offer, and those green pants, or depending on which adjectives that you use to define the pants, eBay will tell you similar items have sold between $10 and $20. The platform will also tell you you're likely to get the seller to accept your offer if you bid X. This is super helpful, and I've used this many times. Do not sleep on the auction option on eBay. I have received items many times in the past by using the auction option. It still works. And as I mentioned earlier, people are less patient and they want that instant gratification, and less of those folks out there are going to stick around and watch an item to continue bidding and bidding. When you use the auction option, keep in mind that you can put the highest bid, and that doesn't mean that you're going to end up paying that amount. I was looking at a pair of Zara shoes not too long ago, and the minimum bid for the item was $8. I put a maximum bid of $12. I knew in my mind it was worth it to me and the value was there, but I did not want to spend more than $12. So I was willing to let it go if someone outbid me over $12. It turns out that the initial bid of $8, no one actually came back and bid. So I ended up paying the minimum bid item of $8 because no one bid above me. which was great. I did not pay the 12 and no one put in any bids after me, so it worked out. And the sixth and last strategy is to negotiate, but do so respectfully. In my shorts video, I featured a denim vintage jacket. It was a denim jacket with animal print detail. I fell in love with the jacket when I saw it in my Pinterest board and knew that I wanted to purchase it. So I went on eBay and looked for the item and actually found two sellers who were selling the same jacket. One seller had it in a size large for $25, and another seller had it in a size medium for $65. As I mentioned earlier, if you use the word vintage, it's likely that the item's going to be more expensive. The seller that had it in the size medium for $65 described it as a vintage denim jacket, whereas the seller who was selling it in the size large, didn't mention vintage at all, was selling it for $25. So what I did was I reached out to the person that had the jacket for $65 and I said, hey, I'm going to submit an offer, but I want to give you an explanation as to why. Why did I do that? I've been a seller in the past, and some of the offers that you get are a slap to the face.
Snap out of it!
I didn't want to disrespect the seller, but I did want to let them know that they had competition. That's only fair. So I sent them a message letting them know that, hey, I saw this jacket listed by another seller in a larger size. I'd prefer the medium, but the price is a little on the higher side. They're charging $25 and you're charging $65. Are you willing to make an offer? I also noted that the price that they were asking for as part of the $65 offer was $20 for shipping, whereas the other seller was only asking for $12. So if the jacket is only off by a size, I can't imagine that the shipping would be that different. So that was another point of negotiation. I said, no disrespect, and if that offer is too low, feel free to make me an offer back. And that's what they did. They sent me another offer, but the offer was only a few dollars less. Now, mind you, since I liked both the jacket in the large and the medium, the seller with the lower price at $25 made me an additional offer at $17 with the $12 shipping, and to me, that was really a no-brainer. I went back to the original seller and said, thank you so much. I just received another offer from the other seller, and it works better for my budget. Thank you, and I'll make sure to keep your eBay shop in mind next time. So those are my strategies for online thrifting that's going to save you thousands. I hope you liked today's video, and I hope you come back for more on Sundays. See you later.